Welcome to Liberty Connects, brought to you by Liberty Senior Living. If you're someone who cares about aging well, this is your place to discover what's next and enjoy the journey. Each Liberty Connects podcast is made up of five-minute segments. During this month's episode, we're exploring the meaning and the honor of celebrating Memorial Day. Brains, brawn, and bragging rights, wearable technology, our everyday sidekicks, and the elephants and other collectibles in the room. I'm your host, Lisa Fielding. Let's get started. Memorial Day, honoring courage and connecting communities. For many, Memorial Day might mean mattress sales, the end of the school year, backyard barbecues, or the acceptable time to start wearing white shoes. But at its heart, this holiday speaks to something deep and profoundly American. Memorial Day began as Decoration Day after the Civil War, a time to pay tribute to soldiers who had died in service to the country. From the very beginning, it transcended politics, beliefs, and regional differences. Families from both the North and South decorated graves of fallen soldiers, showing that respect and gratitude can rise above division. What began as a local gesture of remembrance grew into a national tradition, recognizing men and women who made the ultimate sacrifice, no matter their background or allegiance. It is remarkable that a nation often divided politically, socially, and culturally can unite for a common purpose. This holiday is a rare moment when differences fade, replaced by respect and recognition of courage. Marking their sacrifice is not just ceremonial, it is a moral imperative and a lesson in shared humanity. At Liberty Senior Living, we take that lesson to heart. Across our communities, we observe Memorial Day with ceremonies, moments of pause, and gatherings that bring residents, families, and staff together. Our Veterans Honor Walls, recently installed throughout each of our communities and recognizing current and past residents, are a lasting tribute, providing a tangible way to acknowledge service and sacrifice. And while passing the names, many often pause at those of friends, neighbors, and family members. Some veteran residents quietly share stories of their own service, pride mingling with a touch of nostalgia, while others simply stand in reverent silence. These walls have become a meaningful focal point. They spark conversations between residents and different generations, reminding everyone that courage and service are larger than any individual, and their legacy endures through us. Memorial Day, also a chance to consider the freedoms protected by those we commemorate, the ability to speak openly, to vote, to live safely, to pursue our dreams. By taking a moment to honor them, we recognize not only their courage, but also the responsibility we carry in our daily lives to uphold the values they fought for and to treat one another kindly and with compassion. This day is not about the first picnic of summer or the best deal on a mattress. It is about slowing down, observing, and connecting across divides. It's about teaching younger generations the meaning of service, sacrifice, and remembrance, and about creating moments of shared humanity. This Memorial Day, as flags wave and flowers are laid, take a moment to reflect on the story behind the holiday. Think of the soldiers who never returned, of families who carry their absence, and of the unity that can emerge when we focus on something larger than ourselves or our politics. Memorial Day is an opportunity to come together around what matters most, honoring the service and sacrifices of those who came before us and paving the way for future generations. Brains, brawn, and bragging rights. Seniors in the game. At what age do people stop competing in sports? If you guess somewhere around retirement age, think again. Competitive athletes are still showing up in their 90s and well past 100. Apparently, the use-by date on wanting to win is negotiable. Humans have always been a competitive bunch. Long before organized sports, early humans were essentially competing with bears for food and cave space. Survival required it. Somewhere along the evolutionary timeline, that competitive instinct stuck around and thankfully found slightly safer outlets not involving bears. The ancient Greeks certainly appreciated a good contest when they established the Olympic Games more than 3,000 years ago. Today, while we often picture Olympians as young, lightning-fast athletes, older adults are proving that the spirit of competition does not retire. The National Senior Games Association has spent decades encouraging active adults to stay engaged in sports. The organization hosts massive multi-sport competitions for men and women age 50 and older across the U.S. and in Canada. Liberty Senior Living has embraced the same philosophy. Our annual Liberty Games bring residents together for a spirited mix of athletic and cognitive events that are equal parts competition and camaraderie. This year, about 150 residents, ages 56 to 98 from Liberty Senior Living's 12 independent living communities, gathered at Hayes Barton Place in Raleigh, North Carolina. There, they competed in events from shot put and swimming races to yarts. For the fifth consecutive year, the games brought competition and friendly rivalries, accompanied by plenty of laughter and plenty of bragging rights. Participants reconnected with friends from sister communities and met new competitors who quickly became teammates or friends/opponents, frenemies. But beyond the medals and the playful trash talk, competition provides serious health benefits. Regular competitive activity helps older adults maintain independence, agility, balance, and hand-eye coordination. It also improves cardiovascular health and keeps participants motivated. And here's the kicker. When there's a challenge involved, people are far more likely to keep showing up. Physical competition also works wonders for the brain. Challenging activities stimulate neuroplasticity, the brain's ability to form new connections. Learning new skills, adapting strategies, and reacting to opponents all keep the mind actively engaged. Group competition adds another layer of stimulation. The excitement of a contest heightens focus and involvement, creating stronger mental engagement than many solo activities. And these mental workouts may help improve memory, reduce anxiety, boost mood, and potentially lower the risk of cognitive decline. In short, the brain enjoys a good challenge just as much as the body does. Competition also comes with a built-in social network. A friendly contest naturally brings people together. Whether it's cheering from the sidelines or comparing scores afterward, participants share stories, laughter, and the occasional good-natured ribbing. And if someone brings up their gold medal 3 times in the same conversation, well, that's simply part of the competitive spirit. Studies show that many older adults enjoy seeing how they measure up against their peers. It adds excitement and creates shared experiences that spark conversations and hilarity long after the games are over. Nothing gets a dinner table laughing quite like someone saying, "We would have won the water balloon toss if Shirley hadn't paused to ask if anyone was taking pictures." For many older adults, competition brings something even more meaningful. It proves that goals, achievements, and personal bests do not belong exclusively to younger years. A resident who participated in the Liberty Games was justifiably proud of her achievement. She hadn't played billiards in 20 years, but decided to sign up for the event anyway. She said, "I thought I'd give it a shot and found that it all came back naturally to me." And she's going to frame her certificate and put it on the wall. A woman who started competitive swimming at age 59 said her favorite part was discovering that she could still win things. That moment of realization is powerful. It reminds people that growth and accomplishment do not have an expiration date. Competition also strengthens confidence and purpose and encourages leadership, teamwork, and resilience. And occasionally it involves jumping over hurdles, literally. Of course, competition has a close companion called cooperation. While one person may win the medal, everyone benefits from the shared experience. In senior sports, cooperation shows up in the many people who organize the events, teammates encouraging each other, volunteers, sponsors, and communities celebrating every participant. And the result is something bigger than a scoreboard. Spectators leave these events inspired by the determination and skill of older athletes, and their peers feel energized. Younger generations see a powerful example that aging does not mean slowing down. It simply means finding new ways to stay in the game. Sean Davis is the executive director of South Bay at Mount Pleasant in North Carolina. He says he believes that the Liberty Games showcase the best of what Liberty Senior Living does. He says it's an event that embodies the mind, the body, and the spirit, and promotes camaraderie and empowerment. And sometimes that game includes a water balloon, a determined competitor in their 90s, and a crowd cheering on. Because when it comes to competition, fun, and healthy living, age is just another number on the scoreboard. To learn more about the Liberty Games and to view some great photos and video from the events, visit libertyseniorliving.com. Everyday sidekicks: how wearable tech is transforming life for seniors. Wearable technology has officially left the strange alternate reality of science fiction and settled comfortably into everyday life, proving that some futuristic ideas really do become everyday reality. The best part is that you don't need to be a tech wizard or surround yourself with complicated gadgets to benefit from it. Today's wearables are simple, practical, trendy, and designed to quietly support health, safety, and independence for people of all ages, including seniors throughout the day. Hitching a ride on your wrist, finger, ears, or eyes, or worn as a fashion accessory, think of wearable tech as tiny personal assistants that never complain, never forget, and occasionally nag you to get up and move before your favorite show ends. For older adults, wearable tech isn't just handy, it can genuinely transform the way you live. At its core, wearable tech is smart electronics that know you better than you know yourself. Smart watches, fitness trackers, rings, smart clothing, glasses, and even robotic mobility aids are all part of this growing family. According to the National Institutes of Health, these devices use sensors to gather real-life biometric data about your body and your surroundings. They can even use fingerprints, facial features, and even your voice to unlock devices, while also monitoring your heart rate, your blood pressure, and glucose levels. In short, they know a lot about you, and then use that knowledge to help you live better. Some of the coolest benefits for seniors are surprisingly practical. Smart watches, including the Apple Watch, Samsung Galaxy, and others, can monitor your sleep, track activity, measure blood oxygen, and even detect falls because, let's face it, gravity doesn't get gentler with age. Some devices can even ping loved ones in an emergency, so your family gets peace of mind without hovering. Advanced wearables even notice patterns that might signal increased fall risk, like sleepless nights or even shifts in mood, and quietly encourage healthier habits. Medication reminders, task alerts, and location tracking all keep independence intact while adding a safety net. Fitness trackers like Fitbits are still the rock stars of wearables, nudging you to keep moving and keep your muscles happy. Smart rings like Aura or Circular do the same, minus the wrist crowding. Want a full body overview? Well, smart shirts like Hexoskin monitor continuous cardiac, pulmonary activity, and sleep data. A growing selection of fall protection clothing reacts as an airbag when detecting the motion and angle of a fall. Some wearable mobility aids that are being researched and beginning to emerge even offer power movement, helping improve leg strength. Seniors with hearing or vision challenges are getting their own superheroes. AI-powered hearing aids sharpen conversations in noisy rooms, provide fall detection and activity tracking, while smart glasses act like extra eyes. They can read documents aloud, identify objects and people, scan barcodes, and even describe what's in front of you. For anyone with age-related vision issues, these gadgets turn ordinary tasks into manageable and sometimes magical experiences. And it doesn't stop at health. Through wearables, you can control your music, your lighting, and entertainment, turning your home into a smart playground. Heated clothing keeps you cozy when winter storms hit or the air conditioning is turned up too high. Even as devices get smarter and lighter, they keep getting smarter, more powerful, and easier to use. What makes wearable tech really exciting is how it helps seniors enhance independence while staying socially connected. With alerts, feedback, and gentle nudges, users can manage their own health while staying in touch with family and caregivers. They provide cognitive stimulation, encourage mobility, and make life easier. Wearables are approachable, intuitive, and dare we say, fun and inherently cool to use, giving older adults more freedom, confidence, and control over their daily lives. So the era of waiting for help is over. Fitness tracking, fall detection, AI-assisted vision, and hearing aids are no longer intimidating gadgets. They're trusty companions, quietly making life safer, healthier, and more vibrant. Each new device gives seniors more control, more security, and more ways to enjoy life on their own terms. If you're interested in learning more about wearable technology and what types might be right for you, visit libertyseniorliving.com and download our Everyday Sidekicks guide. GPS in hand, laughter all around. The joy of geocaching. Geocache. It's pronounced geocache, not what the heck? Well, with that little clarification out of the way, let's talk about a hobby older adults haven't traditionally pursued, but definitely should. Geocaching is a modern-day treasure hunt that combines outdoor exploration, gentle movement, puzzle solving, technology, and the thrill of discovering tiny, hidden treasures. It's perfect for anyone who enjoys nature, exercising the mind, and sharing a laugh along the way. If someone told you there was a hidden treasure scattered all over the world, you might think about pirate ships, tattered maps, and even a giant red X marking the spot. But in reality, all you need is a smartphone, a sense of curiosity, and the willingness to explore. People hide small containers called caches and post the GPS coordinates online so others can try to find them. Many people rely on geocaching.com, an app that provides maps of caches based on geographic location, along with helpful hints, guidelines, and other insight for seekers. Most caches are waterproof containers with a logbook for recording your discovery, and many contain small trinkets or treasures. Some caches include trackables, items meant to travel from cache to cache, allowing you to follow their journey, wherever it may lead. Unlike buried pirate chests, geocaches are hidden cleverly above ground, tucked among rocks, trees, or even quirky landmarks. The thrill is in the search, scanning the environment, following coordinates, decoding clues, and ideally, wandering in wonder at the natural world around you. GPS makes it accessible, even if every now and then it drops you in a patch of weeds, making you wonder if the cache is quietly laughing at you from somewhere nearby. Geocaching engages both mind and body, offering an impressive range of benefits. First, it encourages physical activity without requiring extreme athleticism. A cache might lead you on a pleasant walk through the park, along a wooded trail, or across a scenic green space while bending and stretching, providing gentle exercise without ever even feeling like a workout. It's a movement with a purpose, which often makes exercise feel less like a chore. Geocaching engages the brain. Participants use navigation skills, puzzle solving, and observation to locate the hidden containers. Reading coordinates, interpreting clues, and remembering landmarks all help keep memory and spatial awareness active. And for those who enjoy technology, smartphones become tools for exploration rather than a distraction. With an estimated 3 million caches hidden worldwide, there's always a new challenge nearby, and the rewards are simple but satisfying. The thrill of discovery, the quiet joy of signing a logbook, and occasionally uncovering a tiny trinket that makes you grin. You never know when you might find a miniature plastic dinosaur, a foreign coin, or a tiny rubber chicken left behind by a previous explorer. Along the way, geocaching injects humor and adventure into ordinary walks. You might find yourself standing in the middle of a wooded path, staring suspiciously at tree roots, rocks, or an oddly shaped pine cone, wondering if it has been hiding treasure all along. When you finally spot the cache, there is a very real moment of triumph and perhaps a glance around to see if anyone noticed your victory dance. Geocaching is wonderfully intergenerational. Grandchildren, children, neighbors, and friends can all participate, and the experience adapts to different abilities, mobility, and levels of difficulty. Apps such as geocaching.com filter not only locations within specific geographic areas, but also the level of experience, safety, and accessibility. Geocaching proves that the thrill of discovery doesn't belong only to children or professional explorers. All it takes is curiosity, a sense of adventure, and the willingness to follow the trail. You never know what tiny treasure might be waiting just around the corner. The elephants in the room, stuffed, shelved, and slightly worthless. Over the next episodes of Liberty Connects, we'll be addressing the challenges of downsizing. But to start, we need to acknowledge the elephant in the room, or in this case, the herd. Peanut, Trumpet, Bahat, Winks, and friends, the Beanie Baby elephants that were part of the phenomenon that once promised fortune and fame. This small, fetching, fur-covered dream team, and what a dream team it was, manufactured in the 90s by Ty Warner, now quietly occupies shelves and boxes stored somewhere in our homes, their heart-shaped paper tags still pristine, their plush fur just as soft. They and the rest of their menagerie were originally manufactured in limited editions and were supposed to be investments. They were supposed to fund college. They were supposed to be worth something someday. But fast forward a few decades and the Beanie Baby bubble has popped. Once the kings and queens of 90s speculative mania, their scarcity was carefully orchestrated, retiring popular versions, creating a secondary market frenzy. In 1997, eBay saw auctions totaling many millions of dollars in Beanie Babies. Families invested savings. Kids even carefully hoarded their favorites. And then the market crashed. Ty Warner flooded the shelves with new releases, shattering the illusion of rarity. Today, about 99.9% of beanies are worth less than $20. with most only fetching only a few dollars. The exceptions like Peanut, an original beanie, are lottery ticket rare, potentially worth a couple $1,000s, but only if its conditions are flawless. Beanie Babies are hardly alone in their fate. Other beloved collections include plates from Franklin Mint and Bradford Exchange, hand-embellished Thomas Kincaid prints, Precious Moments, and Hummel figurines, Cabbage Patch Kids, Pogs, baseball cards, and a long list of stamps, vinyl records, and Barbies have all been victims of overproduction, generational indifference, and the rise of eBay flooding the market. Once seen as surefire investments, they've mostly become orphaned legacies. Please note that there are always exceptions, so be sure to check for the real value of items you may own. So why did we collect them in the first place? Well, human nature has many reasons: personal pleasure, nostalgia, emotional comfort, intellectual stimulation, the thrill of the hunt, the joy of completing a series, or simply connecting with like-minded enthusiasts. Collections often mark memories, milestones, or shared cultural moments. Comic books once fueled blockbuster franchises. Cabbage Patch Kids caused mayhem in department stores. Stamps, porcelain dolls, and vinyl records were tokens of status and cultural touchstones. So here's the takeaway to share with younger generations as we take inventory and perhaps clear the shelves for downsizing. Collect for happiness, not wealth. Buy what brings you joy, preserves your memories, or sparks connections for you. Don't buy items hoping they'll make you rich someday, because most won't. And don't expect your children to be vying for your collections either. They're likely to not be interested. The attic treasure you dream of is more likely to become a curious relic, a playful reminder of a particular time rather than a fortune. Over the coming episodes of Liberty Connects, we're going to take a deeper dive into downsizing, tell you about practical tips, organizing strategies, and creative ways to preserve what matters most. But for now, let's take a moment with Peanut, Trumpet, Bahat, and Winks, and the smiles they provided, as well as the financial riches they, in fact, did not. I hope today's stories and insights have inspired you to enjoy life even more. Be sure to tune in on the 5th of each month for more Liberty Connect stories and ideas. Subscribe to our podcast and share it with your family and friends. To learn more about us, visit libertyseniorliving.com. I'm Lisa Fielding. Thank you for joining me.